Hi, my name is Charlie, and this is an art lesson. Today, I'm going to show you how to make some word art. That is to say, we will be drawing and decorating some words. At my workspace, I have some paper and a pencil, and now I need a word to work with. I've chosen the word art, so I'm going to write the letters in big block letters and maybe a few different ways. I'll write it here in lowercase and maybe even write art in cursive. First, I've decided to make this one into block letters with very angular geometric corners and angles. So I'm putting a border around this letter. It's as if I'm drawing a wall around it, or a fence. I'm trying to keep the fence the same distance from the letter that I wrote earlier. And it's important to get these inside shapes. These are called block letters because they have nice angular corners and edges. For this next one, I'm going to make it into balloon letters. And I call them balloon letters because it's as if they're puffed up. And I don't have sharp angles and corners. Instead, I'm using mostly rounded edges. You notice that I did the same thing, just drawing a border around my written letters. This time, I will try to make it very close to the written letter. Of course, you could do this with any word that you're interested in decorating. Maybe make a sign. You could do one with your own name. Remember, when you first write it nice and big with a lot of space between the letters. Next, I will use my eraser to erase the letters that I wrote at the very beginning out of the inside of my new design. And what's left is a variety of different spaces. These spaces can be decorated in a variety of ways. I'm glad that I wrote very lightly in the beginning so that the inside letters can be erased easily and they disappear completely. Now I will demonstrate a few different ways to decorate these letters. One of them is to make them look a bit more dimensional. So here I'm adding a side edge to each letter to make it look like it recedes into space. This is a really satisfying way to draw, but it takes a lot of practice. Sometimes I just draw the way I think it is, and then I look carefully at it, and I have to try quite a few times. These curved letters are especially difficult. You might decide to add some shading or texture or patterns in a variety of different ways. I've decided to add some shading to this word to make it look more rounded and dimensional. So I'm just adding a dark shadow to the left side of every letter and to the bottom. For this third thin word, I think I'd like to add a drop shadow, as if the light is coming from this direction and there's a shadow cast on something below it. This technique also takes a lot of practice, but what I'm really doing is copying each letter a little bit to the right of where it actually is, with a dark form. And if I do it just right, it'll look like it's got a shadow underneath it. This is called a drop shadow. Now that all three of my art words have a little bit of dimension to them, I'm going to go back and add some patterns and different things to add interest. For this A, I have a creative idea. I think I'm going to give it a little hat or a stem and some seeds and try to make it look like a strawberry. I wonder what to do for this last art. I think I'll try something ambitious and maybe make a snake that is weaving in and out of the letters. So I just draw the snake right on top, and I use my eraser to give the illusion that it's going behind or in front of each of these parts of the letters. It takes a lot of looking at it and trying to figure out exactly what's going on. I realize the snake has to go over all of the shadows, of course. And I guess it means that the snake needs a shadow also. So I'm going to try to pencil in a snake shadow here. If you want to try this at home, maybe you could do your name in cursive or in block letters, or maybe something brand new for each letter. It's really satisfying, and you're only limited by your imagination. If you made one of these word art drawings with someone else's name, that would be a great gift. Well, I see we're out of time today. So, drawing takes a lot of practice, and I hope that you make a few drawings every day and keep practicing. Remember, your drawings might not look exactly the way you want, but that's just part of the learning process. You'll get better. Just give it some time. Practice drawing a wide variety of things, and soon you'll be impressed with your progress. It's been a pleasure and a privilege, and I enjoyed it to the utmost.